What's going on, guys? I'm Bear DeGidio, and we are back with another episode of the Jackson Podcast. I'm sitting here with one of my best friends in the world. He is intimidating, yet today he looks a little sus. And I'm sitting here with the one and only, The Decision. Rampage, I just want to tell you, it's phenomenal to have you here. You look phenomenal. You look great. Give me some love. This is the best you've looked all week. I'm going to give you love right there. Yo, The Decision, welcome. It's a pleasure to have you. An amazing guest with an amazing career. Can't wait to dive into it.
Yeah! Hey, why they call you The Decision?
So one of my friends, when I started my amateur career, my fights went to Decision, so that's why he called me The Decision, and you don't make up your own nicknames. Some of these guys, I wonder how they get the nicknames when you're like Awapo or something like that. Who the fuck named you that? Because some of you guys, you know, or the Pip, like obviously like, oh, Pitbull, did you give yourself the nickname? So
Daddy Yankee.
For us, it was like no, you don't get to pick your own nickname. People are gonna give it to you. So they gave me The Decision, and I was like, fuck, I gotta roll with it now, I guess.
Well,
but
you were taking a lot of guys to Decision?
At that time, I only had 3 fights. I TKO'd the first guy, and the last 2 were decisions. So then, yeah, that's what the nickname was until I got into the UFC. Literally, Mick Maynard was like, "How in the fuck am I going to sign a guy that with the name of The Decision?" And so The Decision had to be no more. And yeah, so it's Alex Perez now. But
so you don't go by The Decision?
According to Romy Adanza, he calls me the prick. Because yeah, you know, Romy has a couple. He calls me the #1 asshole at Team Oyama. Yeah. He has a lot of good nicknames for me, but.
I love Romy, so he can do no wrong. But now you finishing guys off.
Not finishing guys off like that. I'm not like Bear. I'm not like that, but hey, you know what I mean? I got
but you ending fights now.
Yeah, I'm ending fights.
Okay.
I got knocked the guy out, got a couple submissions, TKOs, stuff like that.
That's good.
Yeah. So yeah, like I said, not like this guy, but you know, I'm doing my thing.
This guy is a phenomenal fighter with one of the craziest lineups of past fights. I mean, just off the bat, your last 5 fights, Figgy, Pantoja, you know, just fighting some, you know, even the last fight, Tatsuro. Yeah. Like, you're fighting some of the top talent, and you've been doing it for a long time, you know? Someone would call you like one of the most experienced veterans probably in the division.
Yeah.
How do you feel right now? I
feel good. I mean, obviously that Tatsuro fight, I mean, first round I thought I won. I tore my ACL in the second round, but I mean, I fought nothing but the best guys. I mean, first year under Zuffa, I fought Contender Series, and I fought 4 times in the UFC. I lost to Benavidez, and then he ended up fighting for the title, and then kind of came back, fought guys. I'm about fighting, and I always tell people I don't get paid to sit on the fucking couch. I get paid to fight. That's my main job. You know, I got a business now and stuff like that. I own an Acai Republic out in Orange. But for me,
you own what?
Acai Republic, and it's an acai bowl. I own Acai Republic out in Orange, so you know, I mean, I'm doing very well business wise and stuff like that. So fighting's still my main job. So I go out there to fight anybody. That's probably the biggest problem I have. I'll say yeah to anybody anytime. When I fought Benavidez on 3 weeks' notice, I fought a lot of guys on short notice. You know, losing to 2 former champs. I had former champion Davison and losing to Pantoja, Benavidez, and I ended up losing to Makayev, the #1 prospect at the world. You know, I fight nothing but the best, and that's kind of where my mindset was. I never really choose my opponents.
What's your #1 selling acai bowl?
For me,
wait, time out. Fuck you laughing?
Because watching you eat acai bowl, because he slips and slurps all over. You do all this weird stuff with your tongue.
I'm sure.
I watched him eat acai bowl a few days ago. That's why he's asking you.
I'm sure he slips and slurps on other things.
Nuts on my acai bowl. I want a bunch of nuts. And I want to.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I heard you like your acai bowl with some cream of young son guy on there too. You know what I mean?
Hey, the cream of some young guys. For everybody watching this podcast, we had about 45-minute preload because this thing has been going crazy with the cream of some young guy.
What's your #1 selling?
The São Paulo. I like the Tahiti, but São Paulo.
What's in the São Paulo?
So basically just about the toppings is bananas and you got like blueberries. Mine has bananas, strawberries, and blueberries.
Oh, okay.
Add some honey. You know, try to make it healthy. I'm a fat kid at heart. Obviously, you know, Colin Oyama. You know, I didn't know anything about Korean barbecue or anything like out there, right? Sushi. I wasn't a big fan of sushi and everything. When I came down here, Colin Oyama, Korean barbecue changed my life. I used to walk around about 140. Man, I walk around about like 160 now.
Wow.
But yeah, it's like
I love Colin, man. You know, he was my first striking coach. You know, he changed the game for me. He taught me that cover and roll.
Yep.
He taught me Muay Thai. After 9 months of training with him, I was only training with him 9 months, and I went to K1 and knocked the dude
Yeah,
out.
yeah. He was actually talking about that. He's like, man, Rampage had a really good block and roll.
Yeah.
One of my favorite, to me, it was one of my favorite defenses. We knocked out Vandalay with that, but even Chuck, you know, watching some of your fights, he's so comfortable in that pocket.
Yeah.
Maybe the right hand was coming or the left hook.
Yeah.
But that cover roll, I love that defense for me. I mean, I'm Mexican. I like to fucking get in there and throw.
Yeah,
So
right in your face.
yeah, so that block and roll cover, it's perfect for me.
Yeah, it's perfect for me. You know what? Colin, he took me to Hawaii for the first time. And I tell everybody I'd never been in love before, right? But I think I fell in love for 1 second because he was taking me to meet his parents. Colin was like another fighters with us. You know, my memory's back. I can't remember who else was with us. But I saw this Hawaiian girl walk across the street in like the flower dress. And she had like the little flower in her ear. And I told Coach, I'm like, stop. I want to talk to this girl. He looked at me like I was crazy. He's like, I'm like, stop it so you can hit on some chick in my neighborhood. I'm like, Coach, I need to talk to this girl. It's the most beautiful girl I've ever seen in my life. And she got away. This was years ago, like over 18 years ago. And
man.
And I never forgot this girl. Never forgot. I could, you know, my memory is really bad.
What she look like?
Bro, she looked so beautiful. She had like long black silky Hawaiian hair. She had like that red flower dress. She was all shapely nice. She had like a really beautiful face, like immaculate, like perfect.
Brother, sounds like you were in love.
That does.
Bro,
Damn.
Detail was on point, right?
bro.
Detail was on point.
Bro, she had like a little pink flower in her behind her ear. I never forgot that girl.
What was her name?
He didn't get
Did you just hear what I said? My coach didn't stop. Coach Oyama didn't stop.
But you don't know her name?
I never talked to her. I wanted to, when he got to his house, I wanted to run back up the street, but she was probably gone by then, so I just...
Yeah, you don't like running. You ain't going.
Wow, I was 205. I was 205 back then. I was fighting 205. I was probably
I mean, you're probably like, what, 190 right now? What are you right now?
So,
Wait, what would you have told the girl if you did see her?
Yeah.
Hey, you know, it's one of those things. I don't know. I probably would like a mumbling fool. I don't know what I would have told.
Oh, man.
I probably would have fucked up and be like, hey, you into black guys?
Shit.
Before we go into Colin Oyama, because we have a lot of stories about this. I've heard a lot about you. I had Robert Emerson here yesterday. He started off at Oyama with who else was there? Mr. Creepy over there, Uncle Creepy.
Yeah.
And then, Shane, R.I.P. A lot of great local legends here in Orange County.
Tito used to train with him.
Tito, yeah.
That's why I went over there. Tito was training with him. Tiki and Rob McCullough.
Tito, it was crazy. I was like in 5th, 6th grade. The first fight I ever watched was Tito versus Shamrock, and Oyama was in his corner.
Yeah.
Then years later, I got to train. I got to go down and train and stuff. So, I mean, I've been watching MMA forever. So I was like, oh shit, that's one of the first guys that I've seen coach and fight, and it was just ran like crazy I got to coach, got to be coached by him.
So before, and I want to go into Oyama. We have a lot to unpack there, but
sure
I do want to know.
like to go into Oyama. I'm sure
That's your coach.
would.
Hey, have some respect. Hey, what made you get into the business of acai bowls? Like, how did you come up with that real quick? Because I find that real interesting. I haven't heard too many UFC fighters, while they're active, while they're having such a great career, build something like that. For
me, it was always I've had Jason Howe's been my manager since I was 18. I haven't had any other manager. And one thing he showed me when I first started out was like, it's not about how much money you make, it's about how much money you keep, how much money you invest. So for me, I love the product in general. I used to eat it all the time. So I was like, hey, I talked to the franchisees, I opened up my own store just because eventually fighting is going to end. You know what I mean? So what's next, right? I love coaching. Don't get me wrong. I feel like coaching is great, but it's fucking hard. You're not coaching to make money. You're coaching because you love it, right? And I have a son now, stuff like that. So I got to set up for the future. Obviously, hopefully this works out. I want to open up a couple other ones eventually, but focusing on this one. So I got into that just because fighting's not gonna. There was a time where I didn't fight for 2 years. I got sick, injuries and stuff, and I was like, fuck, I might have to retire. And kind of what's next? And kind of just jumped into that. I got good partners around me at Acai Republic. They were very helpful, stuff like that. And it's a great franchise. I believe in the product because I'm not gonna put my money into something I don't believe in. I was going there probably once, twice a week in camp. It's something I can eat in camp. So it's healthy, stuff like that. So that's why I jumped into it. And I was like, man, it's been working out great. Been blessed. This is my 3-year anniversary coming up. So been out open for 3 years, starting to get on the right path, making money. I had to learn on the fly. Obviously I don't have a restaurant background, but I have good people around me that help me out.
Do you charge yourself for your own bowls?
I do. I do. I'm like, because if it was free, I'd be going in there. I'd be eating it all day. So I can go in there when I'm in town. I'll go in there, so support myself. Go in there, buy some bowls, and I always do like things. To the we have like the police station. I go out there, give them free bowls. I go to fire station, just letting the community know that we're there. So, but I'll pay for them up front. Like, hey. I mean, it's coming out of my pocket anyway, so I just pay for it, just kind of things like that.
That's cool. It's good to know people that are like having a good interest in their career, in themselves, as the same time as they fight. We see so many fighters, they always talk about what are they going to do next, but they do have, not a lot of downtime, but you do have a lot of time where you make your own schedule. It is easy if you have the right management partners. Like Jason House is a phenomenal agent at Iridium. For him to be able to do that, Jacob, and have a good team around you that can help you facilitate your money. I think a lot of people don't realize an athlete's only as good as their management and accountant when it comes to money. And without those two guys in your corner being on your side, you could potentially lose everything while you're focused on training and sparring. It's a hard situation if you don't have a good team. So Oyama, Colin Oyama is a local legend here in Orange County. Rampage, you came from Memphis. Rampage, how old were you when you met Oyama?
Shit, I don't remember how old I was, but I remember, you know what? I was around 22. I was 22, and I met him right after my fight with Sakuraba. As soon as I got back from Japan, I got thrown in the middle of Tito Ortiz's camp. He was up in Big Bear training with Colin Oyama. We talked about this when Fabiano Iha, and Fabiano Iha was up there. And he introduced me to all of them, and they was like 2 weeks in that training camp. And the first day, as soon as I get there, they're doing sprints up a hill, and Colin Oyama was, the coach. And I never done sprints in Big Bear, and I was running my ass off. And Colin thought I was faking, but I had like a panic attack or something. I couldn't breathe. He was like, "Get your ass up!" But I couldn't breathe.
Why? Because the air you were.
Yeah, because the air. It's my first time ever going high altitude and training stuff like that. But that's when I knew Colin was a hard nose, and then I trained with him for a little bit. And I was like, "Yeah, this is where I need to be."
Yeah.
And he whipped me into shape, and then Tito, I helped Tito train for his fight, and Tito, after his fight, he took like months off, whatever. I stayed there and I kept training with Colin, and I was fight, and then I would take a week off, and I was back in there training with Colin, and I noticed right away my skills got good, and then as you know, I turned to a fucking badass. I started knocking people out.
Yeah.
Was it something about the gym or the culture?
No, I think it's his coaching style. Like he don't give no fucks. He don't give no fucks. You train hard. He don't give a fuck about your excuses. You know what I'm saying? He's like a real coach. Like he talks shit to you right to your face. He'll talk shit to you right to your face. He don't give a fuck. You got no excuse. But you can tell he's a good guy. Yeah. I was a single dad at the time, and I had my son. My son was like 3 years old at the time, 4 years old. Romy and all those guys used to train my son while I was out training and stuff like that. And he understood. I'm seeing a parent come to the gym with my kid. He was cool with that. But then, any other excuses, he don't give a fuck. You get hurt, he don't give a fuck. He used to make us do jump squats.
Oh, my God.
I think he used to like, when we was in pain, though, he used to make us do jump squats. He would wait one day, and then the next day, he'd make you do leg kicks.
Yeah.
And I was like, I caught on to it after a while. But, the worst thing was Saturday training.
Oh, my God. Hit the track. You hit the track, and then you go spar. Yeah. We still do that to this day. We'll hit the track. So on Saturdays, we go to the track. We go to Woodbridge now, high school, and we'll hit. It's about 3 miles, but it's all different, like sprints, Indian runs. You got miles. We're doing bear crawls on the field. We're sometimes we bring our gear. We'll run, exchange combinations, and then we go to the gym and spar. Still to this day, because I was talking to who was it? I was talking to Tiki, and he's like, "You guys used to do it?" I was like, "Yeah, dude. Still to this day, you guys still doing it." Yeah, it's crazy. It's helped me out a lot in fights, actually. But
it does. I'm gonna tell you, if you don't give up on that Saturday training, you're not giving up in the fight.
Yeah.
Like I really those Saturday training sessions was so hard. I had to ask myself, is this really what I want to do? Like, because it was a thought in my mind, like, no, I don't want to be a fighter. You know what I'm saying? Is that hard, right?
Yeah.
And I noticed the people that didn't show up for the Saturday sprints, they didn't make it far in their career.
Nope.
But is it something about the way he sets up the training? Like, because most gyms obviously put people through crazy cardio. Is it the way he makes you run the track?
I think what helps Colin a lot is that, one, he knows how to develop guys, but two, it's not one size fits all. Like, me and Rampage don't fight the same. We have some similarities, like the role, right? But I use a lot more of my wrestling offensively, where like other coaches like, hey, we're all gonna do the same thing, you know. And for me, I don't believe that fighting, like none of us fight the same, right? We all fight different. So I don't think it's a one size fits all. I think that what helps him is that he kind of takes into account your weight, the size, your length, you know, what's your strength, where your weakness is, and he kind of develops a game around you, not a game around what he thinks everybody should be doing. We do have fundamentals, really good defense. We're always gonna work footwork. You're gonna have a low kick, and you're gonna have a jab. I think those are all the things that we have in common, and you're gonna be able to grind. So those are 5 things we have in common. Everything else is up to the imagination.
Yeah, you never had a chance to meet coach's his trainer, have you?
No, I
He passed away. Crew
yeah,
Rex?
yeah, Crew Rex. So I met him once or twice because for the IKF fights, I met him there, but never got to train with him or anything. But yeah, he's I heard some great stories.
Man, he was a great guy.
Yeah, I heard some great stories.
Great guy, great family. He used to throw those smoker fights.
Yeah,
and I fought in one of his smoker fights.
yeah.
How does that work?
I just show up. I heard you fought a guy in one of the smoker fights, and Colin was like, "Hey, don't knock this guy out." So all right, and fucking touches him and goes to sleep. I'm like, dude.
No, the guy was pretty tough. I can't remember who it was, but I did a smoker fight because we went to K1 and I knocked the guy out in the first round in K1, and then I told Colin, I was like, man, these guys are gonna probably have me do some more kickboxing fights, and that was my first ever kickboxing fight.
Yeah,
and straight in K1. And I was like, man, I need to go and do some practice. All right, I'm gonna take you to see my coach, and we went up to Van Nuys. And he had smoker fights, and he threw me in a smoker fight. And that was, you know what a smoker fight is, kickboxing. It's like low amateur, right?
yeah.
I had more pain from that than in them other fights.
Oh, really? Yeah. No, yeah. Coaches said a couple times that, yeah, because back then there was no amateur, and stuff like that. So how are you gonna get better? So you just go to smoker fights, and guys would be like Romy would fight in some of these, rampages. These guys are just like, hey, whatever you do, don't knock this guy out.
Yeah.
Fucking putting people to sleep. I'm like shit. Now no one wants to fight you guys. No one wants to do a smoker with you guys because you guys are over here whooping everybody's ass or knocking them out. Like no one wants to do it.
Yeah,
That's pretty strategic from a coach, huh? Like, hey, don't hurt them, or else we're not gonna get you more fights.
Yeah, because he wanted us to get experience.
You didn't care, huh?
Nah, yeah, but we had some wars in the gym though.
I've heard.
Me and Mayhem Miller used to train with us too.
Yeah.
And that's when we start off at the same time. And when you first start learning kickboxing or something like that, you don't know your power. Oh man, Mayhem, we was going to war.
Wait, at the Oyama gym or at the smoker fights?
Oh no, Oyama gym.
Because didn't you used to roll to the smoker fights with a pretty big crew? It was like your gym crew, right?
Yeah, it was all of us.
Yeah.
Team Oyama. We got something for your mama.
Wait, what's that? That was the slogan?
That was a slogan. Y'all, you
still
didn't
the
know
slogan?
No, that ain't the slogan no more.
Yeah.
But yeah, and you guys used to always show up in the all camoed out, like it was like camo pants, stuff like that. Yeah. Colin had a little rat tail going on. Yeah.
How's he doing?
He's good. I haven't been in town just because I've been doing my rehab out at in Vegas, but we keep in contact all the time. He's still good. Same guy, man. Still runs practice. Yeah. Same. Like the one thing I give about him is that he doesn't give a fuck if you've been out for 6 months. He's gonna throw you, like you come to practice. You're gonna be training with everybody. If you're injured, all right, he'll ease you back in depending on the injury. But man, the reason why I chose to go to this gym, Jason House was bringing me down to try out different gyms. Tried out Pinnacle at the time. Great guys, but it's like, it's not my style. Went to Oyama, and Oyama was kicking out one of the best guys in the class. He's like, hey, get the fuck out of my class. You don't want to train with this guy, get the fuck out, da-da-da. And he was the best guy, one of the best guys on the team. I called Jason that night. I was like, hey, I want to stay here. He's like, why? So, well, fucking kicking out this guy. He's like, so that's why you want to stay? I was like, man, someone that can kick out their best guy and not time like kissing ass to him, that says a lot about him because a lot of guys are yes man. And, you know what I mean? And he's not a yes man. He'd be like, nah, cool, you think this? Cool, there's a door, get the fuck out. I'm like, all right. I like that. I come from a wrestling background from Central California, so our coach was fucking just like that. You know what I mean? So that fits perfect with me.
Bro, he's hard nosed. He's cussed me out in that time.
We've heard.
Oh, yeah.
We've heard this story. Hey, what'd you hear about this guy?
Oh man, I've heard crazy stories. My favorite story of you. He said you guys after one of the fights, you guys went out to some bar. He's seen a midget, and you seen.
You can't say midget no more.
Well.
Little person.
Okay, you seen a little person. Heath Herring or one of the brothers had a midget. He said he was giving him beer. The guy was liking it, right? He said that Rampage was like, fuck, I want a midget too. He said he comes back 20, 30 minutes later with a midget. He said, but this midget, a little person, didn't want to be around there, right? And he's just fighting on beer, and he's like trying to fight him. No. He's like, dude, that's not good. That's bad. Whatever. Said the next day they lost their plane tickets. We're late to the airport. Like all this shit happens. I was like, dude, he's like, how the fuck do you find two little people in Japan in the same bar at the same time? He's like, this guy's kicking and screaming, and Rampage trying to sit there, getting him beer, and the guy's like trying to wiggle out, and he couldn't. Just holding a midget like this little person, like they're just giving him beer and just moving out.
Do you believe that? Yeah. Hey, this guy's my little brother, man. He's like my little brother. You're making me look bad in front of my little brother, bro. Do you believe that?
Yeah, I believe all of it. Are you kidding me? You were in Japan with a little person. I've heard this story from 15 people, but I didn't hear it like that.
I don't remember 1 second of
you went into a bar and they were having fights, and you literally walked in there, and one of the little people got hurt. And you're like, screw it, I'll fight. And the little person didn't want to fight you. So you went and found a sparring partner for the little person that won, and you put in your friend.
No, I don't remember that.
So you don't remember?
No, he made that one up. No, Colin wouldn't lie on me. But he probably made that shit
Did
up.
you not see in Japan 2 little people going out of battle, and then you said, I see your little person, and I raise you another little person, and you brought one with you?
That's not even how I talk.
So what did you, that's not how I talk, as he drinks his F3, huh? Nice plug. So what did happen? Because we've heard multiple stories about the little person.
Bro, if I was drinking, I don't remember.
Yeah, I've heard some crazy stories.
The stories, I'm going to let him.
I did used to hang with Heath Herring a lot back when we was fighting Pride.
And you did at one point have a little person with you in Japan.
Maybe he made up the part where the little person didn't want to be there.
Yeah, I never heard that part.
He said, from what I heard, he was holding him, and the guy did not want to be there. He was screaming.
You think he had a little person in a headlock?
Maybe I picked him up like a
yeah. He said you picked him up. You picked him up like a bag.
Do you know how heavy they are? Because I've tried.
Okay,
you like little things. Your dog's like this big. It is true. You do.
Yeah, but okay,
that dog. That dog. I got that for my daughter on her 9th birthday. I got stuck with a dog. That's why I got a little dog. Don't put that on me.
One of the last girls you were dating is tiny. Yeah, there's a lot of common denominators here. Wow.
Coach Colin always told me Rampage cannot lift, can't go and bench or anything, but he can move a fridge. So I can see him picking up a person. A little, I mean, he used to
he would only go into the fridge at the gym.
No, he said he only can pick up. So if you have to go bench,
pick up the fridge.
Pick up the fridge, pick up a car, whatever. But he couldn't lift weights. He couldn't lift weights.
I don't know why God made me like that.
What do you mean? You're the strongest guy in here.
But I'm not strong at the gym. I can't lift weights.
From what I heard, he can't lift weights.
Yeah, I'm not
can't
strong
bench.
with
Tell me right now, if you went in this gym, you wouldn't lift more than anybody? I've watched you. He's the only guy in here that could lift up everybody during the WWE wrestling match.
I can do that.
Yeah, supposedly he couldn't lift weights. No. Right? And he was actually a decent runner, from what I heard.
Yeah, I heard.
I've heard he's a decent runner. Yeah,
I'll put respect on his name. Oyama said he could run straight.
He can run, but he could not lift weights. He can pick up people, slam them, body slam them, but he cannot pick up weights.
Timeout. Every single time we did the wrestling, we did like a wrestling match, me and Rampage. They were filming it for Floyd Mayweather TV. He was tossing me in the air like if I was like a ragdoll.
Yeah.
You're definitely the strongest guy in here. Except maybe Luke Rockhold, because he's just going crazy.
He's on what?
No, he's on working out time. This guy literally wants to train.
He's on what?
No, nothing. Luke actually works out. He have you ever seen Luke Rockhold work out? He's on some next level stuff.
You saying Luke Rockhold's stronger than me?
Well, you watch what he did the other day. He did like Luke Rockhold is training, get his back ready after CGI. The guy does like 3 workouts a day. And I don't know, he's the most freakish athlete I've ever seen.
He's probably stronger than me in lifting weights. I'm not strong with lifting weights.
But there's no way you're telling me you don't lift weights.
I do lift weights. I do lift. I was born this way. I've always been really strong. But you know what I think it is? I tried to explain to him today that my family owns a construction company back home in Memphis. And I've been doing labor ever since I was like, could remember, 5 years old. But they always used me to like pick up like the big heavy stuff and do it. So I think
that could be it.
That may be what it is.
Isn't there a story that you helped raise money for the lights that go down the river?
Oh yeah, in Memphis, yeah. In Memphis, we have a bridge that connect, Memphis to West Memphis, Arkansas. And I remember in kindergarten, they had like a thing where they took a collection at the school where you give money to put the lights up. And I thought I was doing something special. I helped pay for the lights on the bridge. So I kept giving them my lunch money.
Good man. Wait,
Yeah.
and then what did they build over there? Something special, right?
Oh yeah, we got a pyramid. He didn't know we got a pyramid in Memphis.
Well, I got this T-shirt that I bought online, and I was going to give it to him as a gift. And I would go, look, it's Tyson and Holyfield, and they're in front of the Luxor.
No, it's Tyson and Lennox Lewis.
Tyson and Lennox Lewis. And I had the Holyfield tee, and I go, here, you could choose one of these two. And he goes, oh, I'll take that one. I go, oh, you want the one with the Luxor? He goes, that's not the Luxor, that's Memphis.
That's the pyramid in Memphis. Did you know we had a pyramid in
No,
Memphis?
I did not.
That's what I'm saying, bro. It's crazy.
How come y'all don't know about my hometown?
Memphis or the pyramid?
Memphis, Tennessee.
I thought they just took a pyramid from Egypt and put it behind Tyson.
No,
Yeah, I mean, that's why, if I would have seen the shirt, that's what I
Yeah,
would thought.
thank you.
Now let
Thank
me explain this to y'all so y'all know. Memphis, Tennessee is named after the Memphis in Egypt, but they changed the name for the city in Memphis in Egypt to some other name. I don't even know what they named it, but maybe 1,000 years ago or more, it was named Memphis. And Memphis, Tennessee is on the Mississippi River, and Memphis in Egypt was on the Nile River, and so it's Memphis. It's named after the one in Egypt. We got a lot of Egyptian stuff in it throughout our city.
So you have like this Egyptian pyramid. It's a museum.
No. It was at first. It was like a arena or something. They used to do.
Sick.
Yeah. Now there's a damn Bass Pro Shop.
A
pyramid?
They turned the
Yeah,
pyramid into
it's
a
a
Bass Pro Shop.
Yeah, I was so. I'm living out here when they did. I was so disgusted when I heard that.
A Bass Pro Shop.
A Bass Pro Shop,
Like where you get the free camouflage hats on the way out.
Well, you get all the fish inside.
Yeah.
I never stepped foot in a Bass Pro Shop. I probably never will now.
Stop it.
Because of that. Because they turned. I helped build that pyramid.
The pyramid in Memphis or
I
in
talk-
Egypt?
In Memphis. I never been to Egypt. In Memphis, my family does construction, and my family does like the dirt work, like excavating and graving.
Oh, wow.
All my cousins, all my uncles on my mom's side, they all do that, right? And I was out there with my Uncle June, and R.I.P. Uncle June. I used to work for him in the summers, and I helped build the pyramid. I was one of the guys out there, we did the dirt, we did the foundation and stuff.
Can you imagine you go to Egypt and there's a plaque and it says Rampage Jackson built this pyramid?
That's why I got a pyramid tattooed on my arm.
I never realized that. But you're not Egyptian at all, right?
No, but I'm not Egyptian, but I do believe in reincarnation. I think maybe I used to be a pharaoh.
Used to be a what?
Pharaoh. I feel like I'm reincarnated pharaoh.
What do you think about this?
Now people don't talk like that. That's too deep for y'all. Y'all don't.
Do you know what reincarnation means?
Yeah, I know that, but I mean, hey,
That's what I believe.
Could be.
It's my
Could
own.
be,
It's my own belief.
I don't know about reincarnation.
he's making pyramids, so I mean, maybe.
Yeah, and listen, I went to my high school. I wrestled at. We was the pharaohs, the Raleigh, Egypt pharaohs. That's the name of my high school.
I could see
It's
that
not
maybe.
I don't believe in coincidences no more. Like, brother, I'm older than you guys. When you get my age, you learn a lot of stuff, and I've learned a lot of stuff.
You're old. Yeah.
It's no coincidence that I met Colin Oyama. He changed my life, changed my fighting style. And I started knocking people out. I remember my first knockout training. Actually, the first fight I trained with him, my first MMA fight, it wasn't in Pride. Pride brought me back. And they thought that I was going to do the same performance as I fought Sakuraba. They didn't know anything about me. They brought me to this. They did this Japanese pro wrestling show. It's like MMA, but my fight was the real fight, and they mixed it in there with like Japanese pro wrestling, right? And so it confuses the crowd. And I fought this guy named Alexander Otsuka. They call him the Diet Butcher. And this guy, it was a crazy fight. I hope the fans can find it. He put me in a double. He was known for tapping people out with a double arm bar. So he tried to put me in a double arm bar, and I picked him up and powerbombed him. Boom. Anyway, I fucked him up with Muay Thai, and the ref got mad at me because I fucked him up so bad. I thought they threw in the towel. The bell rang, and it was the end of the first round. The first round, 10 minutes. This is my second time fighting 10-minute round. And I raised my hand up, and the referee was like, "Oh, you didn't win yet?" I was like, "What?" Like, look at your boy. And you guys go back and watch my Pride fights. This same referee used to give me yellow cards all the time because he hated my guts because he's come from the pro wrestling world. That was his boy. I didn't know none of these motherfuckers. And that was his boy. And I fucked dude up. I kneed him all in the face, broke his nose and everything. And then the next round, it was like a minute, 2 minutes in the second round. I think he finally tapped or they threw in the towel, and I talked shit to the ref. And that was the start of that referee hating my guts. And that was my first fight training with Colin. And remember I told you I went up to Big Bear to train with Tito. And the first round, 10 minutes, I didn't get tired at all. I trained my ass off in Big Bear. I was a whole new fighter. I was a whole new guy, and that was all because Colin Oyama.
Colin Oyama has incredible history on conditioning. You've said it. Tito said it. A lot of people have said it. You just talked about the track. Can you break down to me what makes the conditioning part, though, so incredible? Because I know you said one size fits all with him is not the case.
Yeah.
He obviously has something special for you.
Biggest thing, he's going to push you like when you're not comfortable. Like you're going to wrestle. We do a lot of wrestling and a lot of just because even when I fight, I don't really get tired in between rounds. Like I'm talking to Colin, I'm like, he be like, you see this? Yeah, I'm doing this. Oh, what do you think about this? I'm having a conversation with them. But I think what it is just the way we drill. It's hard. It's realistic. A lot of people drill nowadays. We're like right in front of each other. Like, nah, we're moving the whole time. Like, hey, I have to set it up. Like if I want to find a leg kick, it's not like he's not gonna tell you how to do it. He's like, hey, leg kick him. And you'd be like, a lot of people are like, well, how do I do it? It's like, well, figure it out on a moving target, right? So I think that has a lot to do with it. I mean, the grinding stuff, I think, man, it's just, like, he's old school still. Like, we spar, 9, 12 rounds. And then he'd be like, all right, round off, put the MMA gloves on, wall work, clinch work. I mean, we're grinding. There'll be times I get there at 6, practice starts at 6:30, and I'm leaving about 8:30, almost 9 o'clock at the gym, just because we're grinding and just breaking things down. And he pushes everybody the same. I think that's a big thing. And then 2, just the way I've never had anybody hold pads the way he holds pads. He don't say anything. You got to read the pads. You got to do certain things. You know what I mean? He ain't really telling you much. He's moving around, making you move the way you want. And for me, I like it because I feel like if you, a conventional guy like jab, straight hook, like you can do that all day. But when you have to read the pad and move around, it's a lot of work. A lot of conditioning, a lot of little things you don't do, footwork, a lot of just trying to guess. Because in a fight, I asked him why he did it. He's like, well, in a fight, I can't tell you exactly how to land a combination. He'd be like, hey, double jab, right hand, left hook. He's like, hey, the right hand's there. Now it's my job to find it, right? So it's a lot of mental thinking as well. It's not just physical stuff, but a lot of mental stuff to think about while you're training, while you're hitting pads. So it's a lot of little things like that I think helps with the conditioning.
Because he's a real smart guy. He was a lawyer. He's a thinker. He's a real smart guy. The best compliment he ever gave me, I heard him talk. He didn't say it to me, I don't think, but he said it to one of the guys. He said, what I like about Rampage, because he was in my corner in Pride. He didn't ever corner me in the UFC. In Pride, you can hear your corner man.
Yeah.
He was like, corner in Rampage is like playing a video game.
Yep.
He said, I tell him to do something, right, and he'll do it right away.
A lot, and I've heard from other friends of yours and other sparring partners, even on the podcast, is that's one thing about your career in the beginning is that you always pulled the trigger. Like you were never gun shy. You were always able to do whatever your coach. But you've always told us before that you never really like to think. You like to go in there and not worry about the guy.
I like to react.
Yeah. So did you get that from Oyama, or did you always kind of have that style? It seems similar.
He trained me for those first 2 Vanderlei fights, and the problem with that was, honestly, I didn't have people to spar with. He had a lot of little guys. He had like jiu-jitsu guys sparring with me and stuff like that. That was honestly that was my problem. But I think the first Vanderlei, my first Vanderlei fight, I watched all his fights.
Yeah.
And that fucked me up. And I never, because he didn't really lose.
Yeah.
Vanderlei didn't really lose. I feel like if you're going to study your opponent, you should study the fights he lost. I don't think you should really. That's my own opinion. I don't think you should study the fights that he won, especially. It depends on how strong your mind is. Everybody different, right? So I shouldn't watch this. So I'm watching all his fights and stuff like that, and we're training for him. And I got in my own head thinking that my cover and roll wasn't going to be fast enough. But if I would have listened to Colin, I probably would have knocked him out like the first time. But like saying that, I'm sparring with like guys your size, and they're jiu-jitsu guys. They're not really strikers. And I learned a lot. I took a lot from from Colin that I still use all the way up to me winning the belt. That cover and roll. I would never abandon that technique. And I've had coaches that trying to get me to do other different things. And I'm like, no, this is my style, the cover and roll.
Yeah, I think one thing that helps too is that because people ask me in fights like, oh, why'd you land this? Why'd you do that? I was like, I don't know, just reaction, man. Like he throws something, I'm doing this, or he does this. Like my contenders fight, no one's really push kicked me into that fight. Like throw a lot of push kicks. The guy threw a push kick and I caught it. I was like, oh shit! And I threw the right hand. I hurt him, but I was like, he's like, oh, Colin was like, why'd you do that? I was like, well, I don't know. We fucking practice it all the time, right? Like we're working on this, like not consistently, but we're working on it a lot, right, throughout the years, and it just comes out automatic. Half the time I don't know what I'm doing in there. It just comes out, and I think just that's his style.
Yeah.
it's a grinding style, right? But it's a freestyle, right? Like a lot of us don't fight the same. I mean, I trained with Cheeto when he was there. Me and Cheeto were ranked in the top 15 at the same time. And we, at that point in time, we had 2 completely different styles, right? And we're both ranked. And so it just shows you that he can adapt to the person, not trying to make everybody the same.
Yeah. Did you ever see my fight when I fought Kevin Randleman?
Yeah.
You see that combo that I finished him with?
It
was the Muay Thai knee uppercut left
Yep.
hook. Colin had me work that on the pads over and over and over. And I don't know why he was having me do it, you know, because I guess he knew it was going to be like a tough wrestling match, and he had me do the Muay Thai clinch. And I was kneeing him in the body, and he was trying to block the body. And I snuck one up to the chin. And wow, man, it was just a reaction. Yeah, man, I've never done that combo again. I never done that combo again.
But you do practice those combos before the fights, right? Or a little bit, or just the
no.
technique
That combo that I finished Kevin Randleman with, RIP. It was the combo that we did in training camp over and over and over again. And Colin knew that about me. Whatever combos he wanted me to do in the fight, he just had me do it over and over again as like repetition. And in my fights, most of the time, I would just pull it off.
Yeah. And that goes to a lot of fighters. We've sat here with a lot of fighters who have explained to us that if they are in a fight, it's better for them to have done something that they have done multiple times. They don't have to think about it, and then it can be more instinctual rather than them trying to remember what to throw or how to throw it. Yeah. It's cool because we heard that from Coach Perillo as well. Coach Yogi in here. We had Eric Nixick. Hearing coaches when they talk, like what Rampage is saying, I always love hearing that. It's like, I'd rather just have my fighter work on a few things, but make sure they know how to do it from every angle, every position, than having them know a little bit about everything.
Yeah, we're calling. That's all we do, right? We have a game plan, and literally we're on the pads. He's not saying much. He's just making me move, and I'll be hearing the same combination from the left side, the right side, just different angles, just learn how to attack. But like I said, people like think about it, think it's pre-padded or anything like that. It's like, no, I just read the pad. He has me move different ways, level change, you know, I'll kick and go back into something. Like, it's just crazy how much he can come up with like 3 or 4 combinations, how to hit those in different angles and stuff like that. So I think that's what it comes down to for me, is like, I don't think about what I have to do in there. I'm just like going on autopilot, you know?
What's your favorite fight?
My favorite fight, the first one I watched was Tito and them. But my favorite fight, man.
Well, your fight.
My favorite fight was when I fought Shorty Torres. I actually hit the roll all day because he was a big name coming out. Actually, I did his podcast. I finished him. He was coming out big hype. He was 8-0, a 2-division champion at Titan FC. I remember during the all week they're hyping him up. It's like, oh, Demetrius Johnson's saying like this guy, you know, might be able to challenge him, whatever. And and then I was like, all right, well, fuck, I got to show everybody what's up. And he got me mad because at that time I was just like taking people down, you know, mixing up a little bit. But he said, oh, the only way Alex Perez wins is if he takes me down. So I was like, man, I told myself, I'm going to knock this motherfucker out. So I go in there and literally right off the back, we just go. I think the fight lasted a round. I think I threw like 117 strikes. I think I landed like 107 or something like that. Damn. And we're throwing. I just rolled, block, roll, come back with 3. That's how I actually hurt him. And hurt him one time, and the second time I rolled underneath the left hook, caught him with the left hook right hand, and I just threw it down on him. That was one of my favorite fights, but then it showed everybody that I can punch. I was like, oh, shit. Now people know I can actually strike, you know? Yeah. But that's probably one of my favorite fights. It was at the Staples Center. TJ and Cody were the main event.
The main card.
Yeah.
And you knocked them out?
Yeah, I knocked them out.
In the first round?
First round.
Well, I'm going to have to go back and watch that fight.
Me and TJ were watching it the other day because we were watching TJ's fights and the highlights. We were at dinner and we were going over a bunch of the content because we've been doing a lot of the recap videos. Yeah. And on the Jackson podcast, because we just dropped our brand new JX1 and our new watches, like what you're wearing right there.
Oh, that's a sick.
Yeah, that's the new. That's the silver.
How come you always give the guests? Like, why you always?
I wanted him to get one of the brand new ones. You got the new black on black. No one even has.
I know. I always like the one I'm wearing, but you always make sure that the guests like outshine.
He needs an iced out one, bro. He's got a shiny career. This guy's very illustrious, dude. He fights the best, and he always gives 100.
You used to be my brother, bro.
You ready to look like a diamond, dog? Look at you. You walk around looking like a tinfoil. What? That's a great jacket. You look incredible. That's Italian leather? Oh, that's Santo Studio. Oh, this is one of the handmade jackets we made for him. He didn't fit any of the standard models, so we sent one to Italy. We got that thing custom.
Well, hey, what's that on your jacket over there? It looks
it's bedazzled. I knew he was gonna get it. I knew he was gonna get it. Right when I hit him with the jacket. It's my dog.
That's
But
some
hey,
girl. I got my daughter a Tesla, and then, next time she picks me up, it's I'll be dazzled.
That's what? That's something what?
Girls do.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
They're strong girls too. Let me bring in Chris Cyborg and you tell her that girls wear bedazzled.
Yeah. When Chris Cyborg come in, I'm gonna ask her, would she bedazzled her hoodie?
No, you just say that's something girls would do, and let's see what she does to you.
Fuck Chris Cyborg.
She used to train at Oyama too, right?
She's not.
Or she trained with you in she
Oh,
trained over here in
Antonio
HB.
McKee.
Yeah. Or in Long Beach.
Yeah, Long Beach.
Antonio McKee.
I love Chris Cyborg.
Yeah, she's a legend.
But I'll fuck her up if she
Do you think you would be able to beat her up?
Chris Cyborg?
Yeah. Like you think you got hands like because she's fast, right? Powerful.
Chris Cyborg?
I just was wondering as your friend. I mean, brother, I'm in your corner. I think you
Okay,
would.
the real question is, do you think you can get her?
Yeah.
Chris
yeah,
Cyborg,
yeah.
not a chance.
Thank
She
you.
would kill me.
Yeah, fuck your
I got
ass up.
punched. I got punched in the throat by TJ Dillashaw. I still can't breathe. It was late night. We were working out, and I'm trying to get shredded. Joe Rogan posted a photo of us. We look jacked. Joe Rogan's the GOAT. And I was like, dude, TJ, look at my new combo, right? And I'm slipping. He's like, bro, that's because you can't wear socks on the mat. I go, my bad. So I take my socks off. I'm landing things. And TJ's like, look, this is what happens if you're going to really fight someone. I go, what? And he goes, think. Boom. Punch me in the throat.
So TJ Dillashaw hurt your throat.
No, he's trying to teach me defense because I kept punching with my hands down. Dude, that guy is one of the
Hands
smartest
down,
fighters.
mouth open, or
Hands down, hey, you be starting all kinds of craziness. Now, because TJ is one of the most analytical fighters.
Yeah.
But as a coach, I don't think people are going to understand because we're going to make him one of our Jackson podcasts, like Jackson brand, the house here, the gym, the training. We're going to make him one of our coaches next year. So he's going to come in here once a week and help with the fighters. We're going to start bringing in fighters. Rampage has been finding a lot of talent locally that we can try to help build and just support with the podcast. And TJ is going to be a big part of that. One thing I wanted to know is you talked about Cheeto Vera. Cheeto Vera is one of our Jackson athletes. He's an amazing guy. You guys used to live together.
Yeah, man. So we used to live together. Colin Oyama and them started a fighter house. And we met in Vegas during first time I was cornering Carla Esparza. And we went to go train at Syndicate. We went to go train there, and Cheeto was there. And I was talking to him. He's trying out gyms, right? And he's like, man, like, I don't know, like, his English is all broken up, at the time. And he was just like, oh, I'm just trying gyms. I was like, well, come out and train, whatever. Come out and train, check it out, see if you like it, whatever. And then literally the next day, he was we left Vegas, so we got Sunday. So Monday he was at the gym. He's like, with all his bags, like, I'm ready to move in. I'm like, well, shit, you know what I mean? Fuck it. Yeah. Shit, we used to live with Cheeto, man. It was funny. We had this guy named Mike Diamond. He used to live with us. He fought in the UFC a couple times. Blood Diamond. He trains with Tristan.
Tristan?
Yeah. And then back
Tonga.
Tonga, yeah. He said she trains with them, so they came down for a trip. And he was doing laundry at our house, and he would get mad at Cheeto because Cheeto would go in the house and he would be getting ready to do laundry. But he'd get butt naked in the hallway, and he'd be like,
Tristan?
I'm walking out, I'm like,
Tristan?
No. Cheeto would get butt naked.
Cheeto would get butt naked.
Cheeto would
in the
get butt
hallway.
naked. And he'll get butt naked, and the other guy's like, "What the fuck are you doing, man?" And Cheeto's like, "What? It's not natural. We all have penises, right?" He's like, mine might be smaller, but we all got. I'm like,
Poor Cheeto.
Cheeto would say that. He's like, you might be smaller, you know what I mean? He's like, we all got the same. And Mike will get so mad living with Cheeto. Just every 3 or 4 days he'd be doing laundry, just get butt naked in the hallway. I'm like, dude, freaking Cheeto, man.
Hey, look at Barrett. He's thinking about getting a roommate now.
He's like, oh, Cheeto, huh?
He's like, oh, Cheeto. See what's going on?
Yeah,
Nah,
man.
hey, Cheeto's always training with Coach Perillo.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're in here during the day too. We let him have it private. That guy's has so much heart for the game. I could see why you guys probably linked him. You guys have the same mentality.
He's a good guy. He's fun.
I love that. I love that guy. Me and him, man. Still to this day, we don't really see each other obviously that much anymore, but we still keep in contact. One of my best friends. One of the funniest guys on the planet. Like his family's awesome. He knows my son, stuff like that. So he's an awesome dude. So it was crazy. Like when we first met, he was talking about doing all these things, right? Like, hey, getting sponsored by certain guys, doing, be on Joe Rogan. Like these are things that he like would tell me when we first met in about 2000. I think it was like 2015. And, seeing him do it, I was like, dude, that's so crazy, man. I always reach out to him before the fights and stuff. We work the same nutritionist. So I'm always like calling him, checking on him, stuff like that during camps. But yeah, he's an awesome dude, man. I love seeing his story, his background, his story coming through to the States and coming out with, hardly any money. The biggest respect I have for him, he came to the States and left his family's back in Ecuador. And man, he was here for 8-9 months. You know, I remember taking him to the airport. They came to surprise visit him. Man, I remember that drive to the airport, taking him his family back, man. And he's like, I couldn't say nothing. He was crying. I was like, fuck, dude, I didn't have a kid at the time. So I was like, man, I can't be in that situation. My family lives 4 hours away. Your family has to get on a plane, you know, fly the stuff. But seeing that, all that dedication and stuff, all that hard work paying off, man, it like happy to see, you know?
Yeah. Have you given him an acai bowl yet?
Yeah, he's come right. He's come to the store a couple times.
What? What's so funny about?
Dude, you're one of a kind. You might be one of the funniest people I know. I'm not gonna lie to you. Hey,
Yeah,
in 3-week notice, you fought Nicola, right?
Yeah.
And then that's basically, what was that? Like 2 fights in 8 weeks, 9 weeks? What was that?
Yeah, something like that. So I fought Mikhaev. So
Mikhaev was
yeah,
like 8 weeks before.
it was in March. So I was training here. I actually ended up getting hurt. I popped my rib, right? And I couldn't pull out of the fight. So I go to Vegas. I train for 2 weeks to fight this guy because my rib was so messed up. I couldn't do anything. And we take a loss, right? And that's my 3rd loss in a row. So then I heard that Manalha got hurt. He was going to pull out. So I told my manager, I was like, hey, like I'm down to fight. I didn't even know how much I weighed or nothing. I was like, I'm down to fight. Like, you know what I mean? So UFC agreed. I mean, coming off of 3 losses, I got a main event. I was like, screw it. You know what I mean? I had nothing to lose at the time. I went out there, had 3 weeks. I mean, I think I trained with Coach Khan maybe a week because basically I was like helping, I was out helping Cody Garbrandt for his fight at UFC 300 against Davison. So then right after that was my fight. So I literally went home during fight week, I went home, came back, cornered him, and then stayed out in Vegas. And I ended up winning, you know, I had nothing to lose. I ended up knocking him out. And crazy enough, now he trains at Timoyama. Yeah, trains at Timoyama. And one of the first times, because I was there, I was there a little bit, and he's like, man, coach is going over a technique. He's like, this looks very familiar. He's like, yeah, we did this against you. And he just starts laughing. He's like, oh man, but yeah. So I ended up knocking him out. And yeah, now he trains at Timoyama. He's a super nice guy. You know what I mean?
Y'all boys now?
Yeah, we're cool. I mean, for me, I like to compete. So I've always wrestled. So for me, I can go bullshit with somebody. You know what I mean? I fought a friend in the UFC before I got a title shot, Jasser Flamingo. I met him in 2010. I was still wrestling in college, but I was fighting at the same time. And he was the number 1 or 2 flyweight in the world. We trained together a little bit, like they were in town. And we always stayed in touch, right? I cornered him for a couple fights at Tachi Palace. And we stayed in touch. And 10 years later, we ended up fighting each other in the UFC. I ended up TKOing him with leg kicks in the first round. And that's how I got my title shot. But yeah, so like for me, it's business. You know what I mean? I can separate friendship from business. Yeah. You know, if I can do that. Some people can't. I know some people that gotta hate their opponent. Man, that's too much energy. Yeah. I can care less. You know what I mean?
Thank you. Can you fight one of your friends? Like if it was like
Yeah, I would kill Vinny. I would kill Vinny or Loco for sure.
I actually think Vinny would actually beat your ass.
Oh my God, you gotta stop with this.
I'm just what I can't be honest and have my own opinion.
But that's just not fair.
I mean, there is a ring right there, you know.
That's what I'm saying. Well, this is what happened last time we did this. Joaquin Buckley. I said, did you see that?
I've seen that.
It's bad. It's bad.
I'm gonna tell you something.
Yeah.
Coach Bobby Rimmer might get upset with me.
He's the man.
Yeah, but he was telling me when Coach Bobby was training all these guys, and he was telling me, I said, "Hey, how they doing?" and stuff like that. He said, "Oh, they all doing good and stuff like that." I said, "Who's the best prospect you got over there?" He said, "Vinny."
Okay. Yo, Coach Bobby, that is crazy, dog. I paid for your flight both ways. Nah, hey.
I'm not telling you what I'm gonna say.
Here's the cool thing. I will say this for a second. I think the funnest thing about this podcast is not only we get to sit down with, guys like you who have an amazing career, who are incredible fighters, but Rampage has made the energy and the vibe here so phenomenal that we have full-time fight team, full-time physical therapist, full-time coach for boxing and wrestling. We have Leo Vera and Jansen Bushesha for jiu-jitsu. We have Perillo in here. We have Coach Yogi. Rampage is in here every day. Like, we have transformed the Jackson House to a full gym, full podcast center, and recovery for all of our fighters, athletes, skaters, surfers. It's like the fun. I'm like living the dream right now.
I smell like a locker room out there.
Yeah, Rampage brought me this thing from Colombia and sprayed it with a bunch of that stuff you smell before a fight.
No. It don't smell like a locker room, but he's right about that. It was his birthday. I was in Colombia getting stem cells. He's my little brother. It's his birthday. He's having a big party. I'm seeing all this shit. I'm mad because he had his birthday party while I'm out the country. Who does that, right?
I invited Fabian to Iha too, just to rub it in his face.
how selfish of him to have his birthday party on his birthday when I'm out of the country.
Yeah, it's messed up, man.
So
100 people at the dinner. Rampage didn't show up.
yeah. So I got him one of those. It's like a fake leather thing, you know. They call it vegan leather, and they paint over it. And I didn't know that it smelled bad. I put it in the plastic bag and stuff like that, and I carried it home. Then I brought it here.
It's a prank.
It smelled like Pudussy, bro.
Yeah, it's a full prank. It don't listen. I smelled acai bowls; those smell incredible. This don't smell like that. You know what I'm saying?
No, it smells bad. I had it in the room yesterday. I taped it up behind him. It's his favorite actor, Michael B. Jordan.
I love him in Creed because I listen to the Creed soundtrack when I spar every day.
Do you?
I spar every day now. I'm trying to get good. It's fun. It's actually the best cardio. It helped me drop like 25 pounds. If anybody's watching this, you're looking to get in shape, go spar or go do jujitsu. No gi, it don't matter. It's the best cardio. You feel incredible when you're done too.
Would you like more, gi jujitsu or no gi jujitsu?
I like it in a gi.
You like it?
I personally like it in a gi. I'll wear a gi all day and I'll take it.
You walk around your house in a gi?
No, but I'll take it in a gi.
Okay, so after training, do you keep the pants on and go to the store with the gi pants on?
I put on my
with the thongs.
You saw the photo.
The thongs on your feet.
Yeah, I had slides. I left the pants on. I walked into Whole Foods. I just kept telling everybody I was from Brazil. And see, it was a whole ordeal, dude. I'll never do it again. Some guy came up to me. He's like, yo, what belt are you? Oh, we'll worry about that later, brother. One thing I want to talk about is competing on the first season of Dana White, Contender, the series. Talk to me about the atmosphere of this show and kind of what's going on with this thing and what it's like for people who are fans of UFC and MMA to kind of get a behind-the-scenes perspective.
So I was at the old Tough gym, so it wasn't even at the new Apex. So I was at the old gym. Literally, it was crazy because literally the first season was the hardest season to get a contract on. I mean, I seen guys in the first two seasons I think was hardest. Right now they're giving out contracts left and right, but back then it's like I've seen people get knockouts and no one was getting contracts. For me at that time, my mindset was this is my last shot because prior to that I fought for Tachi. I was a champion. I ended up losing to Adam Antolin. He ended up being on The Ultimate Fighter. Then they were looking at, it's called Dana White Looking for a Fighter. They came out to San Diego. I found the same card. I won, but still I looked like shit. So for me, I took it as, this is my last chance to get into the UFC. And I went out there and I just told coach, like, hey, I'm going to go out there and just fucking, either I'm knocking this guy out or, I'm getting knocked out. One or the other is going to happen, but I'm going to go out there and go. And walking out, it's super quiet, super mellow. Like, so only, at that time, there's only like maybe 50 people, if that, because they only have bleachers. They don't have like how it is now. So only bleachers, so it's really quiet. So you can literally hear everything people are saying. And I just remember going in there fighting, and I can hear the guy's like family. I don't know if his wife or his mom or something like that, like talking shit to me. Like, you know what? No, you don't want this. I'm like, I don't know if you're seeing this fight, but I'm whooping this boy's ass. Like, but I'm like, oh shit. Like I can hear everything they're saying.
Did you think this like, shut up, bitch?
I
would have said it.
You would have said that.
I would have said it.
What's the worst thing you've ever said to someone?
I never talked.
Exactly.
I never talked in the
said
fight.
Anything.
No. But I've never been able to hear the crowd like that, saying shit like that to me.
Yeah, that's
gotta be crazy, right?
Yeah, it was crazy, right? And there's literally Dana White, Mick Maynard, Sean Shelby right there.
Oh.
And I'm obviously nervous going in there, but I'm like, hey, this is my last chance. I'm going to give everything. And just being there was crazy. And then after I won, you're still not guaranteed the contract, right? So I'm sitting there in the back. We're waiting in like one of the it was like a room with like the kitchen maybe at the Ultimate Fighter gym, right? It was like a little kitchen. We're sitting there. We're sitting on the desk, and there's a sink and everything. They were walking in. It's like, all right, we're waiting to figure out who's getting a contract, and they're calling people's names. Oh, this guy, oh, sorry, you didn't get one. You didn't get. Oh, we only need these two guys. So they called me and somebody else. I got the contract. It's like, man, thank God, because shit, if it wasn't for that, I don't know what the hell I'd be doing. You know what I mean? At that time, I gave myself to a certain age. I gave myself till I was 26 to make it to the UFC. I obviously want to have family, stuff like that. And Rampage knows you ain't getting paid much. Nowadays, we're getting paid more than what these guys got paid. When I first started fighting in 2011, I got paid $300 a fight.
What?
Yeah. In the UFC?
No, this is out.
Oh, okay.
And the UFC, and once I was making $300, $500. I fought in 9 months. I fought 7 times, like when I first started, and then kind of going from there. And then the most money I made up to that point was like $6,000. You know what I mean? And I was like, man, this is there. I got paid 5 and 5, so you got 10. If you won, so that's the most money I ever had. I was like, oh shit, here we go. And I was looking like, hey, I'm gonna give myself a timeline. I didn't want to be 32 years old still trying to make it, not being able to pay my bills. So I gave myself a timeline, and it happened to work out, I was like, thank God. And then still to this day, I'm still making it. I'm still doing things. Still fighting the UFC, making great money and stuff like that, and living the dream, getting to travel the world for free, getting to hang out with cool ass people, getting to explore. I think I've cornered about 40 times in the UFC, anywhere from like prelims to title fights. In between, I've been able to coach and help people out. You know what I mean? That's what giving back to the sport that gave me my life, gave my son his life. I'm grateful to be able to do that. You know what I mean? Do all the stuff I'm able to do for him. And for me, I always like to repay it forward. So for me, coaching and stuff. So like I said, it was one of those things where it's gonna make it or break it kind of moment. And it was a good night, good feeling. Obviously winning and stuff, and just showing all the people like Coach Colin took a chance on me. Right? When you're doing this, you're taking a chance on guys. You're not guaranteed to make it, and just being able to repay him and and stuff like that. Like still to this day, my percentage has never changed with them because. Shit, I mean, why? Like he's putting so much work, so much time, so much effort into me. The hours he puts into me, the traveling, driving places, not asking for a penny. You know what I mean? Like it was just great to see me being able to repay him. You know what I mean? And it was awesome. It was an awesome feeling.
Now, were you always responsible with your money, or is this something that came later?
No, I was always pretty responsible because I was broke, so I remember having to either like buy food or put gas in my car to get to training kind of thing. And when I first moved to Orange County, I didn't have a car. I used to live at the gym. So I would take the train down. I would live at the gym. And I would work at a freight company back home in Fresno. I work at a freight company with one of my buddies, Jeff Allen. I worked there. I worked for 3 months. And I would come to Team Oyama and live at the gym for 4 months. Go home for another 3, do that. So I always kind of be responsible with my money.
No Limits?
No, this is they had just moved into the new building. It's still like where No Limits was at. It's down the street from there. It's in Irvine, right across the street from the district. So that's where I stayed at. So I did that for months. I did that for like 2 years, and then finally, Coach Colin opened up a fighter house, opened the door for me. I got like Cheeto, Humberto Bandenay was in the UFC, Diego Rivas was in the UFC, Mike Diamond was in the UFC. A lot of guys that didn't have, the money or the resources to do that. You know what I mean? And he opened the door for me and a lot of these guys. So it was just a crazy trip, man.
When you first said Mike Diamond, I thought you were talking about that Mike Diamond from Tap Out. You
No. Yeah,
You know
I know what you're talking about, but no, it was
he was out here too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was out.
He was here?
Yeah,
I haven't seen him in a while.
No, he was. He didn't pass away. What's the guy's name who passed away?
No, that's Mask.
That's Mask. Yeah. But they were in HB.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I thought you were talking about him at first.
No, it's Mike Blood Diamond. He has like a.
Is he a black guy?
Yeah.
That's racist. You call him Blood Diamond.
That's his
Yeah,
name.
you can't. No, you're not allowed to say that. No.
Oh,
Rampage. He's not allowed to say that,
No, you're not allowed to say that.
brother. You shouldn't say that.
You shouldn't say that.
No.
That's his name.
Rampage. He shouldn't.
I'm
say
just
that.
fucking-
That's his name.
One thing before we let you go, you don't shy away from anybody, like you said.
Nah.
You take every fight the UFC gives you, and I feel like that's why UFC gravitates towards guys like you. They're dogs. Like you guys are willing to go out there. Your last fight was incredible. Dude's undefeated. Who do you think can give Pantoja the biggest run for the 125 strap?
Man, honestly, like it's hard for our division because we're all so technical. I mean, Moreno gave him a good run for his money, right? Right now he's fight. I think he has a fight coming up. I'm not sure, but man, it's hard to like. He's a dog. I fought Pantoja, and I tried to be Mexican, stand in the pocket, fucking. We headbutted. I broke my orbital, and then like 30 seconds later, he choked my ass out. But he's just hard, man. He like if you watch his fights, he has that heart. Like he'll be dead tired in the fight, and you watch him, he's like bent over, like giving all the wrong body signs. But when he stands up, he's like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna go." It's gonna have to be someone that is gonna catch him. He gets hit a lot. He has a good chin. He relies that on his defense, but it's gonna be someone. It's gonna have to be someone with some pop. You know what I mean? A lot, or someone that has a really good jab. Moreno was jabbing him up. You know what I mean? I think he broke his right hand, and Moreno was just using his jab. So it's gonna have to be someone that can either has a pop to him or someone that has really good like footwork and just a really good jab. Because Pantoja, he has no footwork. He's gonna put his head down and fucking come at you with 100 punches to get you down to the ground and get you down. He does his thing. So it's gonna be someone that's really long, has a good jab, or someone with some pop that can knock him out.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense with these guys too, because also with your weight class, like even Mighty Mouse used to say, like the technical striking, the footwork, it's so next level because of the size. And Rampage has said that a lot as well. You fought the last two kings. Last question. Appreciate you being on here. I mean, the keyboards have been banging to have you here. And the Jackson Podcast Discord wanted you on. We hit up Jacob, Iridium Sports. Shout out to Jason and Jacob for getting you on here. We rushed this one. I hit him up last night at midnight. I said, yo, we need a podcast today. Can you come in? And they made it happen. And we all wanted you. So I appreciate you just sliding through like that short notice. This guy's always taking short notice fights and short notice podcasts. You fought the last two kings in the 125 division, Pantoja and Figgy. Who do you think is a tougher matchup for you?
Honestly, like, I think Pantoja, right? Like, when I got hit by Davison, I didn't think he hit that hard. I mean, he kicked me, he hit me. I was like, fuck, Cheeto hits me a lot harder than this motherfucker. You know what I mean? So I made a technical mistake. I was shocked that I took his ass down so easy because I see people try to take him down. He's defending super good. I'm like, when I took him down, I was like, oh shit, like this is way too easy. And Rampage knows, you guys know, it's a split seconds that matter, right? I literally, he wrapped around a guillotine. I went to jump over the guard a split second too early. And I jumped into his guard. If I would have waited like a split second more, I would have jumped over it, defended it right. It's just split seconds. Pantoja, he's harder hurt. And he's a dog, he comes forward, Not saying Davison isn't, but I think Davison's a better matchup for me than Pantoja. But it's crazy. Davison destroyed Pantoja when they fought. I mean, I broke his hand. You know what I mean? Just MMA math don't make sense. But I'm also too, I mean, I feel like I can beat all these guys 9 out of 10 times. They get that one, It's just, being a competitor and shit like that. But I mean, I hope I can run it back with these guys eventually.
Do you believe it's the styles of the fight that makes the difference? The style of the fighter.
Yeah, style of the fighters. And then too, like I said, one thing that I always look at is where they're training, because then from there you can tell. Okay, like you train in Florida. Henry Hoof's your coach. Okay, I know exactly how you're gonna check a kick. I know exactly you got that Dutch style. Oh, you train. With these guys over here, I know exactly what their style is, kind of thing. So you break down, for me, I break down from where they train at, then I look at what's their strength, what's their weaknesses, and kind of go from there.
Wow, I never.
That's incredible. Yeah. You're the first person I've ever heard say, I look at the trainer.
Yeah, I never.
Well, like
the coach,
like TJ, right? He has a great style, but how many guys guys had success with that style, but like it looked funny when Chad Mendes was doing it, little short T-Rex arms, right? Jumping in and out. Benavidez, same thing. They all train with.
Oh, time out. Replay. Wow. What did you just say? Chad Mendes had short T-Rex arms?
Yeah, man.
Wow. He went there.
I can talk shit too because I have a short ass reach.
Like the little ones like this?
What do you have against little people?
This is the third time he's brought up someone that's little. Is there something you want to get off your chest about TJ?
Nah.
Cody? Anybody?
TJ. When I sparred with TJ, he fucked me up.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I sparred with TJ because he came in to train at Tyler Wombo's gym, and I'd cross train over there a little bit, and we're sparring. Yeah, that guy pieced me up with like a 30 punch combination, so I had to take him down.
TJ?
Yeah, TJ.
In training?
Yeah.
Killershaw?
Yeah.
Killershaw went hard at you in training?
Yeah, and then I had to take him down because I was like,
doesn't sound like him.
That sounds like
I heard he's a lot nicer now.
Oh, he's incredible, bro.
Yeah, no, he's
the worst rep for
he's a solid dude because I would ask him questions like, hey, bro, like, and he broke down stuff. But I'm the same way, though, because when I train, people say you can't win training. That's bullshit.
Oh, really? You believe that, too?
What do you mean? If you're second in the track, you're fucking first loser. You're fucking getting whipped. But I keep track of the rounds like, hey, it's a close round. I lost. I got to pick it up the next 2 rounds or 3 rounds. Whatever. Yeah, because I'm like, hey, I don't like losing. When I would go home, my son's mom, when we were together, she would be like, who took you down? Or who fucked you up today? Because I would be in such a bad mood, I would not be able to sleep because I'm like, fuck this. On the track, on the track, people would be like, I'm top 2 every time, killing people. I'm winning everything. And people would beat me on the last one. I'm like, talking shit like, yeah, see that? I'm like, oh, hell no. Oh, let's go again then. They were like, nope, we're done. We're done with the track. I'm like, oh, fuck this. Like, let's go again. I'm like, oh, you fucking waiting till the end to beat me? Like, I have to be able to win everything. Yeah. Like, it's just in my head. I
couldn't train with him.
That's a good mentality.
Yeah, because everybody
trained with TJ. It's the same mentality.
I trained with TJ. Everything is a damn competition.
Yeah,
everything is.
But he was one of the best to ever do it.
Yeah,
because of that mentality. You're one of the best to ever do it, but you have your own style.
Yeah, but the thing about me is I always sucked in the gym for some strange reason. I wasn't like the gym performance guy. But I used to hate, I hate running with people. I hate having a running partner, even my son, anybody, because when I run with people, they always turn into a race.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. Like, I want to run at my own pace. If they running right next to me and they pass me a little bit, I slow down. Like, go ahead. I don't have a competitive.
Oh, no, not me. I'm like, fuck this. I got to beat you.
No.
Can you imagine Rampage running around your neighborhood? He's just like taking his time talking to all the moms.
I'm a big guy. I like to jog. But I tell them, well, let's spar then. You know, you want to beat me at something that I'm not good at? Come on, let's
see, that's what it is. Let's get to the root of this before we wrap up real quick. You don't like when people take advantage of things they know you're not good at when they know that they can't spar with you. You don't like, I've seen you do that in here. Like when he sparred with Luke. Luke was scared of a few things. Then Luke, what?
No, he talking shit because Luke pieced me up.
No.
It was my first time sparring in over a year.
If Rampage knows that a guy's faster than him and the guy knows that and they're about to go run and the guy uses that against him for no reason, Rampage doesn't like those types of people because they're exploiting weaknesses for no reason when they're supposed to be. I know what you're saying.
I'm
supporting you here.
I know, but I'm just not super competitive. I've lost a friendship from a sparring partner, a training partner, because I guess his roommate, his best friend, we was training Coach Bobby, and Coach Bobby makes us do sprints up and down the mat. And then we go and punch and hit the back. And Coach Bobby's like, it's just joggers. No, it's not a race. It's not fast. And you know, I'm the second biggest guy. My friend I lost a friendship for. He's a heavyweight too, he's a little bit bigger than me. But his friend was a little guy, and we run. He's racing me, and I was like, what's going on, bro? It's not a race. So I'm running, and so I just see what he was doing, so I pick it up a little bit, and so I start running and then it turned to a full-blown race, and I noticed that this guy is racing me out of everybody else, and I get annoyed by it, and so I cuss him out, and his friend chimed in, I'm like, I'm not even fucking talking to you. So this motherfucker right here, the one racing, it's finna be a fucking brawl. I was gonna brawl both of them. I'm like, well, let's spar then, motherfucker. You want to race me? Let's just fucking spar. You want to compete with me?
Yeah, we for sure end up fighting because I'm the guy that I'm.
You want to fight him?
I said we probably would have ended up fighting because I'm the fucking guy that I'm running back and forth. I'm like, hey, I'm trying to make sure you know that I'm in better shape than you. I'm fucking there. I'm that
We're
guy.
not in the same weight class. Remind me not to spar. Train.
Listen,
remind me not to train.
Before we go, you would kill me for sure. But if you had to fight Rampage, how would you fight him?
He'd probably try to wrestle me.
No, because you're a good wrestler. I'm sorry to bring this up, but probably leg kick you.
Oh my! You knew he studied tape.
No, and it's fine.
It's okay.
It's fine because a lot of people.
Hey, don't worry, brother. I'm here for you.
No.
You're gonna be okay.
Let me. That's struck a nerve. That's struck a nerve. Hey, I only didn't block leg kicks when motherfuckers don't kick hard. So if you leg kick me and I don't block it, that's me.
For me, when I leg kick. Like this is probably like kind of fucked up to say, but I'm throwing a leg kick. Either I'm breaking my leg or I'm breaking your leg or you're breaking.
Let's see how hard your leg. Come on, baby.
Before we go,
I can't. I just got ACL. I got ACL.
Rampage. Yeah, you know what happened?
Yeah.
Hey, are you healthy though right now? You feel good?
Yeah.
Because can we talk about that?
Yeah.
Or no? So you blew, and we're gonna wrap this up right now. I know we went. Rampage has got to. Where you got to go right now? Get Cinnabons.
Wow.
No, did you say you had a morning breakfast date or something?
Wow, I gotta get Cinnabons.
You said you looked fresh today.
Really, you're gonna. Hey, I've been on like a really good clean diet and fasting.
You look like a Pop-Tart. It's incredible. So your last fight, you blew out your last. What happened?
Tore my ACL. I had ACL reconstruction surgery and meniscus repair. So I'm probably like thinking about 12 weeks.
Did it hurt?
Now. Initially it did, and then the next day I was like, fuck. I don't like using crutches, so I was like, I'm just start walking on it. And I start walking on it. And then I didn't want to get surgery, but Coach Colin was like, don't be like me. Like he's around limping and stuff. He's like, I waited to get surgery. The doctor, everybody at the UFCPI, shout out to Heather Lynn and that team out there. They're like, it's better to get surgery because your bones are still good. They're not grinding against each other. It's like, if that happens, you're like, you can do whatever you want, but you're going to need a knee replacement eventually. This way we can save it. So I'm like, all right. So I ended up doing that. They took out my quad to do it. So yeah.
No, fuck all. I'm still offended. This motherfucker say I look like a Pop-Tart. I'm sorry, man. This motherfucker be at Diddy parties looking like a toaster strudel. Saying I look like a motherfucking Pop-Tart.
Hey, Vinny, what did you call him when you walked in? You called him a flow master on the bottom of a Chevelle?
Oh, my God.
That's what he called it. He said he looked like a flow master. You know, the flow masters are kind of round a little bit. They sit underneath the Chevelles. Listen, phenomenal fighter, phenomenal fights. You continue to give us just brawls. You never shy away from anything, like I said. And I think that's one thing that I love about MMA and about fighters. I get to sit down with guys who down to fight. because we see so many people trying to figure out their careers. Back in Rampage's day, they just took fights left and right. That's what made us fall in love with these guys.
Back in Rampage's day.
Back in the day. Or not in your day, but like back in the day. You know, when there was Blu-ray and VHS and stuff.
Oof.
Oh, man, that's a low blow.
Because you got me good today, huh? Yeah, you got me good. So we're excited to see you back out there. Before I let you go, is there someone you have on the schedule? Do you know when you're going to be coming back? Anything like that?
No, I'm not rushing it. Like the biggest thing about me is that like I'm very smart with my money. I got my business. I'm doing real estate, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So fighting is my main job, but I have other sources of income. So I'm going to wait until they say I'm ready to go. Like, I mean, I know people that have rushed things because they need the money to fight.
Yeah.
I'm not, thank God I'm not in that position where I don't have to be. So I'm going to take my time doing it. Like, it's not, I want to make sure I do it right because it's the knee.
That's so smart. I did that. That's how I got that Lost to Shogun.
Really?
Yeah, I lost the
I didn't
Shogun.
know that.
Because I used to get paid cash money.
Yeah.
And I wasn't responsible with my money back in those days, like, because it was cash money.
Yeah.
I used to be in the strip club doing this. But you know, I take care of my family. I do a lot of stuff, you know, and I got injured for that fight. And I'm like, man, I need this money. I ain't finna pull out.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that. I thought you took the Shogun fight for contract stuff.
No, I ain't gonna lie. I said Shogun fight, I should have pulled out of that. I was injured.
I will say this though, before we left, I won't say her name. She came in here a week or two ago, and she was a good mentor to Rampage, and she brought her family here, and she, I guess, was helping Rampage out when he was young, and she told us this story. You mind if I tell it? She said when Rampage was young, he would make all this money, stacks of money, 10, 20,000 in stacks. He would come home and he would just give her all the money and say, hide it from me because I'm going to spend it. And this girl would hide like $100,000 at a time.
My friend's mom, I call her mom.
Closets and pants and clothes. So Rampage wouldn't spend it. I mean, that's like one of the craziest stories. The trust you have for her. True. And she looks at Rampage as like a kid. And I saw the family here and I go, dude, that's a whole nother level of relationship. Yeah. I had so much respect for her after seeing her here.
Colin know about it. Colin knows her. It was one of my friends who was training with us, Alex. His mom used to do it. I just... being a poor kid coming from Memphis, you know what I'm saying, making a bunch of cash money. I used to go through it so fast. You know, one problem was when you it was brand new money. Japan used to have brand new money, and so some of the hundreds would be stuck together. So if I pay for something with 100, sometimes it'd be 200s or 300 stuck together. You got to twist the money like this. It was so new that the dye used to come off on your fingers.
That's a rich person problem. I never had that issue. I'm still trying to figure out how to get that many hundreds in cash.
This a billionaire. Listen, this guy.
No, sorry. Hey, listen.
No, fuck that. He gonna edit this out. Don't edit this out. This motherfucker like Batman, man. He got all this shit. He go and fight crime at night. He's a vigilante. He got all these different Batmobiles and shit like that.
Do you see what I got to deal with? You see what I got to do? The Adventures of Bear and the Pop-Tart, dude. running around Gotham City.
I'm gone.
Hey, Jackson Podcast. We're here with the one and only. You see what it is. I mean, honestly, just show everybody. Just do a 360 real quick. This guy got in a fight with a raccoon last night. Listen, whatever Wolverine ate your pants, ask him to get him back.
Look,
yeah, show the camera.
I'm fresh, man. I'm Dougie fresh. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee, baby. I'm Dougie fresh, man. Look at the back of his jacket. Come on, tell me.
Hey, that's a one-of-one Santo Studio jacket we made for him. That's made in Italy. It's a classic artisan leather. We had to make him custom. Rampage got a big back but small waist. You know what I'm saying? Told him to hit more legs and less bicep curls. And that's a wrap, boys. Thanks for watching.